A minute. Most of us look forward to late starts just so that we can actually sleep in. There is a need for sleep, and there's a way to solve this problem. In order to know how to solve this problem, you must first identify the problem, then figure out the solution, and then realize what happens if you don't get enough sleep. I'm an authority because I myself am a teenager, student, and student athlete. Too many people are sleep deprived in school, according to The Atlantic, last updated August 2014. Students will space out, forget stuff, and even sleep in class. The students aren't the only ones who suffer. Teachers also have to be there before the students even get there. Student athletes are the ones who suffer the most. There are days where we have an away game, and it takes about an hour and a half to drive there and an hour and a half back, which is a late night when you have 4 teams playing. These 4 teams usually consist of JV boys, JV girls, varsity boys, and varsity girls. The games don't get over until about 9:30. Then you add that hour and a half drive and you don't get back until 10:30, 11. And then some kids aren't even done with their homework after that, which takes from 11:30 to 12. Then the next day they might have morning practice, which usually starts at 6 o'clock in the morning. That means that you only get about 5.5 to 6 hours of sleep. The recommended amount of sleep is 9 to 10 hours for teenagers. California Representative Zoe Lofgren has been trying to get the House Congressional Resolution 135, otherwise known as Z's to A's Act, to pass, according to Sleep Foundation, last updated April 1999. This act would encourage individual schools and school districts all over the country to move school start times to no earlier than 8:30 a.m. Lofgren started on the act in 1999. Zoe Lofgren started working with the National Sleep Foundation to introduce legislation that addresses the relationship between school start time and adolescent health, well-being, and performance. In a national survey on the sleep patterns of U.S. adolescents ages 11 to 17, NSF's 2006 Sleep in America poll finds that only 20% of adolescents get the recommended 9 hours of sleep on a school night, and over one half, which is 60%, sleeps less than 8 hours on school nights, according to Consumer Affairs, last updated March 2006. Something to take away is lack of sleep leads to lack of focus. Lack of focus leads to bad grades. Lack of sleep can cause many problems. Let's look at the ways you can fix this. A solution would be that schools would start later. Starting school just 30 minutes later was linked to significant improvements in adolescence. Reported sleep time, mood, and health according to a study done by the Wall Street Journal in July 2010. About 200 students agreed to participate in the study and complete a sleep habit survey before and after the shift of the school start time. The survey included questions about mood and depression. Researchers also collected data from the school's health center, cafeteria, and attendance records, which showed whether students reported late or missed class. At the end of the study, the average sleep duration on school nights increased by 45 minutes to nearly 8 hours. The number of students who reported getting at least 8 hours of sleep increased to 54.7% from 16.4%. At the same time, reported daytime sleepiness fell to 20% from 49.1%. There was also changes in mood, with a percentage of students who rated themselves as depressed falling to 45% from 66% before the later start time, while the percentage of students who reported feeling annoyed or irritated throughout the day fell to 63% from 84%. Students and faculty overwhelmingly voted to keep the later start time. In order to put this plan into action, you must first show your plan to the school board and show them the issues. Then you hope that they agree with your points you made and that they put your plan into action. Another way is you could encourage your state representative to vote for the Z's to A's Act. Getting the recommended amount of sleep can make you positive and alert. Being alert can get you better grades. Now let's say that school start time was moved back 30 minutes to 1 hour. Morning practice wouldn't start till about 6:37. That would allow kids to get 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep, which is way better than 5.5 to 6 hours of sleep. Now I know some of you are thinking, why don't you just have practice after school? There are more than one teams at our school, as you heard before. We have high school, and we have junior high and elementary. And then also sometimes we host games, which then we can't practice in the gym if we are hosting a game. Some of you may also be thinking, just go to bed earlier. It has been proven that some teenagers' biological clock does not allow them to go to bed before 10:30 or 11. Also, like I said earlier, sometimes there's a game that runs late, and so we don't even get to bed until 11 or 12. If school started later, it could drastically improve student results Let's look at the results of sleep deprivation. Here are the possible results if you do not get the right amount of sleep according to WebMD, last updated February 2014. Sleep loss dumbs you down. Sleep deprivation can lead to serious health problems. Sleepiness is depressing. Sleepiness makes you forgetful. And sleep loss impairs your judgment. Sleep loss can also cause short-term and long-term problems. Today, we have identified the problem, found the solution, and realized what happens if you don't get enough sleep. There's a need for sleep, and starting school later is a way to solve this problem. I'm going to present this plan at the next school board meeting, and I hope you do too.